So when we look at fuzzing performance and the value from fuzzing performance, then of course when you do a lot more parallel setups and when you have the option of tailoring your test setups based on your own test requirements, you can definitely increase the test coverage and find new problems with those setups. And if time is critical, if you only are given like a day for testing and you still have to go through tens and tens of protocols, then speed might be essential, and then in those setups it might be actually critical for you to look at the hardware you are using. So don't use dual-core laptops like I am using, but look at the high-performance laptops that are available. They are almost slightly more expensive, and you can get sometimes even a factor of 10 speed improvement with the correct hardware that you use. And then on the other hand, if you are testing in lab environment, then you can look at the server platforms and look at the speed of disks and memory and CPU and the number of CPUs, how many cores you have per CPU, and how many threads each CPU can execute. And each one of those aspects will improve the test execution. And all hardware vendors typically are very open to giving you a few loan equipments that you can try out and then do your own tests on. Or you can just contact us and see if we have already done performance studies on some of the hardware configurations. If you are mixing and matching fuzzing with performance testing, then definitely it's important to use those fuzz test capabilities like looping each test case. If you go through millions of test cases and loop every single one of those test cases like 100 times or 1,000 times, of course it increases the time you are required to do testing. But on the other hand, when you do each one of those fuzz tests like 100 times or 1,000 times already, you can often see failures like memory leaks and CPU resource problems much more easily than when you just execute tests one at a time and only once. So please, again, just let me know if you are having these kind of challenges and need to also combine fuzzing tools together with performance tools. You don't need to run our tools for the performance testing. We have several customers using our tools together with commercial performance testing tools, and there's capability of mixing and matching and creating test scenarios where tools from us and tools from other test vendors work fluently together. But still, even though the topic here was performance and load related, it's important to remember that the total cost of ownership and real return on investment is in fuzzing is only about how many problems you really can find and what is the value of those findings. So if you find only one problem with one tool and 100 problems with the other tool, then of course you can see that the other one is immediately 100 times more valuable. End goal of fuzzing is still to find crash level issues in the products, and that will help you in reducing the maintenance costs and failure reproduction, getting those problems found and fixed faster, build better confidence, and also even use your security tests as a marketing tool to get better penetration into the market. But if you look at performance aspects, you might want to consider also combining model-based software tools together with off-the-shelf hardware and compare that price to performance-related appliances. You will not get necessarily exactly the same data rates and the test case rates as you get with test appliances, but on the other hand, you can often see that the price tag is also like 10 times smaller when you look at software-based solutions compared to appliance-based. So that might be something you can consider, but if you need really high-end rate data rates from single unit, rack unit, then of course keep in mind also the other test vendors. And again, we have lots of visibility also on the social media. If you want to discuss this further, join us on our Facebook page or chat with us on Twitter, and come to our website. We are sending a newsletter out every second month, and there's just a brand new one out recently, so go check that out. It's looking at the latest features on our 3.11 release, so it's really interesting newsletter issue. And then we also have customer portals, backstage, where our customers can go and chat and discuss with us, and also other customer proprietary interfaces. So if you are our customer, then please join us and we'll help you build the best possible test setups that you need. If you're interested in the fuzzing book, it's really looking at how any network engineer, security engineer, even academics can get familiar with fuzzing and what is the main purpose of fuzzing and so on. And with that, I will conclude. We should have plenty of time for questions, so please type in your questions in the chat window, and Ami here will help you in getting those answered either immediately now, or then we'll look at the remaining ones offline after the seminar. But anyways, thank you everyone from attending and let us know if you have any questions.
Hello, I'm back. Thank you, Ari, very much for your presentation. We have a few questions here, but first of all, we could start off by clarifying in the demo, you had a test case that you repeated 10,000 times, right? One test case, but you also talked about individual fuzzing test cases that, in contrast to performance testing and fuzzing, the test cases are always individual, and this creates unique challenges. So could you just go over the logic of your demo shortly?
Yes, in the demo I was using perfectly valid test cases. So the test case I was using is a valid web request. If we want to run the actual fast test cases as well, then we can run more or less test cases, and depending on how many test cases you want to run, you can either run all the fast test cases, which would be the fact now,